Working Man Radio with your host, Joe Lyles.
The way that conservatives absolve themselves of guilt is by simply blaming the people on the bottom for their own situation. That's what this is all about. That's what that's what the whole business is all about. It's about proving that the people who have the money deserve it. Now, what did the Walton sisters do to earn their billion-dollar fortune? What did they do? I mean, they came out of the right woman's twat. I mean, that's not hard work where I come from. I mean, it isn't any harder to push your way out of Sam Walton's wife's twat than it is to push your way out of some black woman's twat. I mean, pushing your way out of that twat to come into the world is equal work no matter who you are. So I don't understand why coming out of Sam Walton's wife's twat entitles you to something. But it does, and every conservative and every pull yourself up by your bootstraps and it's your fault if you haven't become a billionaire conservative out there, not a one of them will not acknowledge that the Walton sisters don't deserve their billion-dollar fortune. They didn't do a thing to deserve it. They got it because that's how our society is set up. We've decided that, we based on common law rules of inheritance that none of us voted on. We've decided that parents can leave their kids fortunes. And nobody wants to change those rules. I don't even want to change those rules. But when you but then you get this business. Suppose we tax Sam Walton's estate. Sam Walton may have built the estate. Maybe Sam Walton did deserve his fortune. Well, Sam Walton's dead. Sam Walton earned his fortune. Sam Walton died. Sam Walton built his fortune with the use of roads, paid for by taxpayers, with the use of communication systems, paid for by taxpayers. Sam Walton enjoyed the protection of law enforcement, because let me tell you something, the cops are down at Walmart. You go by a Walmart, and the odds are good you'll see a cop car out front. What are they doing? Arresting somebody for shoplifting. Because Sam Walton cannot have a string of department stores across the country. He cannot have department stores in cities he's never even visited, cities he doesn't even know where they are. He can't have those stores there making him money unless there are police officers who he has never seen, who some other taxpayers are paying for. That's right. The Walmart in your town, the Walmart Corporation is benefiting from police protection that you pay for. Without that infrastructure, there is no Walmart and there is no Sam Walton fortune. When Sam Walton died and left his fortune to his sisters, somebody got the bright idea that since it does not cost them anything, since they did not expend any extra effort coming out of Walton's wife's twat, as opposed to what you spent coming into the world, they didn't do any extra work being born of a rich woman, that perhaps, now that Sam Walton's dead and no longer has any use for his money, that perhaps we should levy an estate tax on it. We're not going to take it all. Nobody took it all. We're just going to levy an estate tax on it. Because that fortune was accumulated with the help of the United States government, that maintains a stable currency and maintains those sea lanes, and the police force that maintains order and gives you the power to set a store up on the other side of the country. You've never been to it, but there are police there to police it and keep the shoplifters from robbing you blind. Sam Walton benefits from taxes more than you do. So if he pays some taxes when he dies out of an estate that he couldn't take with him, who cares? Well, the Republicans care. They don't want money moving the other way. They don't want any of Sam Walton's fortune finding its way and supporting the infrastructure that supported him. They want you to pay for that infrastructure.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. You've been listening to Working Man Radio with Joe Lyle at joelylesradio.com.